There you are. Oh, I thought we'd have to do the show without you, Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
Podcasting will be a thrill. Grandpa and chill, grandson and friends. Podcasting Grandpa and chill will be a thrill, grandson and friends. With your hosts, Grandpa Barton, Brandon Fox, Phines Jackson, and Sierra Dawes. This is Grandpa and Chill.
So what is the topic for today?
Shoot. We've been doing like a bunch of new tech stuff, so we usually figure out the top. Oh, fuck me. Sorry, a light just almost broke. This is where we figure it out. This is that time slot.
You're in the brainstorming phase.
Yeah. You're in the pre-recording podcast phase.
Do you have any what's the things called? Recommendations?
I will say it's funny. I was at the dentist this morning and they tried to get my wisdom teeth out.
Yeah.
Was that
like without anesthesia? Like they just like they tried?
No. They didn't like take a scalpel. They would just suggested it verbally. They're like, "Hey, please come back and pay us all this money."
Well, if you do decide to get it, figure out if they or that dental office has the sedation with the gas that knocks you all the way out. Because where I went, I had to do a conscious sedation. The first time I went, I did my right side last year, they did the local anesthesia. When I tell you, I cursed this woman out on the table with her tools in my mouth because I had an impacted tooth on my right side.
Yes, I have.
I digging.
Yeah.
And I was like, bitch, if you don't stop.
Oh my God.
And she's telling me, girl, if you feel pain, tap the armrest. And I'm like pounding the armrest. Oh no. And then I tried to move her hand and she's like, no, honey, don't put your hand up there. I'm like, I'm trying to tell you I'm in pain. Girl. What are you telling me?
They didn't numb the air. They didn't put
it was numb, but when you have it right by that nerve and when I tell you she was trying to dig and I felt it shooting up to my face, I'm like, I can't do this. And I was crying on the table. My friend who works there, I was holding her hand. She said, Narissa, I had to let go of your hand because, girl, you nearly broke my wedding ring. I was like,
Jesus.
Oh.
That's
so the second time I had
terrifies me.
The medical apartheid.
The conscious sedation. I think they just gave me like a crushed up Xanax or some crap like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like it made me sleepy and she numbed me up real good. So all I felt was pressure on my left side, which was a good thing because I was like, well, it's not that bad. But I think I would have rather wanted to be put under. So it's your choice.
Is the topic today terrible experiences with doctors?
That would be a great topic, Grandpa.
It could be. That would be a lot of fun.
It could be.
You've had a lot of tooth stuff, not to out you, but right, Grandpa?
Yeah, absolutely.
When
I'm
I was
involved in one right now, which
let's talk
about that you can't always trust the doctors.
Yeah.
Most of the time you can, but not always.
Well, it's weird because I had such a good dentist in New York, and the one I went to today was off of a Groupon, which I do whenever I don't have dental insurance. And so I did a Groupon, and they were like trying to like, I felt like I was at a retail store. They were like, don't you want the extra large boots with your dental cleaning? And they charged me double. The Groupon said regular cleaning, and they said you need a mid-level cleaning, not just a regular cleaning. But don't worry, because it's not a deep cleaning, so it won't be nearly as much. But they charged me double the Groupon. And then they were like, here.
That's not the point. Your Groupon said regular cleaning. You better go with the Groupon.
I was regularly clean my fucking teeth.
Give me the regular one, yeah.
And they're like, well, if you want the regular one, we can't remove anything. And I was like, you could. And then they cleaned it and took 20 minutes. But they said that my tooth, the bottom right tooth, is not going up. It's going towards my other teeth.
Yep.
And that's what impacted means, right?
Oh, wow.
That makes me sad.
Yeah. So
You gotta get you some dental insurance, bro.
Do go fund me.
I'm trying to. So
Join our Patreon. All of our $5 patrons are gonna help pay for our dental insurance.
Well, that's how we'll do it. We're setting it up. The $5, $10, 20, and then like the $50 tier will be get Brandon.
Look into Emeritus, okay? It's $32 a month.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, they said with the impacted tooth, she's like, it's right at the nerve, so I don't even know if we could do it. We'll try, but it'll be really hard. And I was like, and that's exactly what you had done last week.
No, the impacted one was last year.
Oh, okay, last year.
All right, but this was Friday.
Why not just get all 4 of them like straight out?
Honestly, when I went, that was the goal. In my mind, I was like, I'm gonna do 4, get them out, I'm gonna be done. And everybody's looking at me like, you bugging. After the first, you bugging. And then when we started, she was like, I'm gonna do the impacted side first. And after that, she was like, I'm not gonna torture you anymore. We're just gonna stop here today. Like, and I'm looking at her like, you think? Mm-hmm. Yes, we are. Like, I can't do this. And thank God, because of dance projects and stuff, I was supposed to do this in January because I had gotten it done like November-ish. Mm-hmm. When I was supposed to do it in January, the dance project got pushed back till February. Okay, now I have to reschedule. Then COVID stuff happened. Now I have to reschedule again. So that's why it got pushed back all the way to April. Mm-hmm. I'm just happy it's done. The swelling was worse. I look like a chipmunk.
Yeah. They were like, we could do it on a Friday afternoon, and then by Monday you'll be good. I'm like, I really don't believe you. Like,
by Tuesday you'll be good. I'll say this: once you get all your drugs, you'll be fine. The first time I did not get all my drugs, so it took me 2 weeks to recover. But when I got it this time, that amoxicillin, the hydrocodone, and the ibuprofen, gems. Yeah. Wonderful.
I've been on hydrocodone before. It's very strong.
Yeah.
Anyway, Grandpa.
Yes.
Don't you say that that's like one of your biggest regrets is not taking care of your teeth when you're young?
Well, I think it wasn't so much that I didn't take care of them, but I ate a lot of sweets and soft drinks and things that aren't necessarily good for your teeth. So, but
I mean, your family did own a soda business, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Gotta test the product.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I've been having a problem right now with I had an implant put in. You guys probably don't have to deal with, but very expensive procedure. And I went to somebody that was supposed to be a discount operation, and the dentist that put it in kind of put it in crooked or whatever, and it eventually broke off what they call the abutment that holds the crown. They kept telling me that they damaged the thread inside the implant was damaged, and they had to get the broken part out. And all along they told me they had it out. And then I got a second opinion last week and found out that there's still a piece of it in the tooth, and that's why they can't get the other abutment all the way in, the new one. So it's a mess. But
wow. Does it hurt?
No, it doesn't hurt at all, except that it's not it won't hold up that way. Right now I have what's called a healing abutment in that implant, and that should come out, and then they put the regular what they call an abutment. That's just a little head that holds the crown with a screw on it. And that screw has to screw down and it has to seat firmly on the bone. If it doesn't seat firmly, then bacteria can get in and you have other issues. So it's a mess. But,
why do you have all these problems? Is it just natural aging, or?
Well, no, you shouldn't really. I mean, I was born with straight teeth, good teeth, but I guess, like you said, I didn't take care of them in the sense that I did a lot of candy and sweet drinks and soft drinks and whatever. No, you
beyond
shouldn't have it. If you take care of your teeth, you shouldn't have any problem your whole life.
Right.
be honest with me. Do you floss?
I do. I do everything now. I do more than most people would do because I realize how costly it is and how inconvenient it is if you lose teeth.
Narissa?
I do one of those things that squirt the water. I do it all.
What's that?
It's a water flosser.
Water pick. It's called.
Mm-hmm.
You water floss and you floss?
I do, and I also have an electric toothbrush, and on and on. So yeah, but it's because I'm so aware of how costly it is if you have to replace a tooth. And very costly and very time consuming and annoying.
You're muted, Sierra, by the way. Okay. Wow. Yeah. I'm getting better. Yeah.
This makes me want to take care of my teeth even more. So it's terrible.
Do you take care of your teeth, Phines?
Okay. I mean, I brush it, flossing here and there, and.
But when was your last cleaning?
About a year ago.
And what's here and there mean?
Sometimes here, sometimes there.
Well, one thing about it, having nice teeth is really important to your appearance. To have nice teeth, I don't know if you've ever seen these ugly teeth they sell on they're like a gag, and you put them in. Boy, they really make you look pretty frightening.
Did you guys see that meme, or not even a meme, like a trend a couple months ago, where these stupid kids were freaking filing their teeth?
Oh, what?
Yes, they were filing their teeth because
like with a nail file.
They took like a hard metal file.
No.
Like the metal file that you use to scrub the bottom of your foot when you go get a pedicure type of thing?
Yes, the hard shits. And they took those and they were filing their teeth either to get pointy teeth or if they didn't like maybe one tooth felt like it was a little longer than the other. They're literally filing their damn teeth. And it was a trend. Everybody was like, oh, look at my teeth. Oh, look at my teeth. I can't wait to see in 25 years, the Gen Z kids dental bills have soared.
Idiot's delight.
It was crazy. It was so scary.
It's not even Halloween. Why are you trying to file your teeth to look like Dracula?
Right.
Because they thought it was cute. I don't know.
You take away all the hard enamel.
Exactly. Then they can't have no ice cream. They can't have no Rita's Icy. They can't have nothing cold, nothing hot. You already done desensitized your mouth.
I mean, so the levels of body modification, because I'm tattoos are really cool. I love tattoos. I don't have one yet. But then some people are like, oh, what, these kids with their fucking tattoos and the inking their body. But then then you go more extreme. Lots of people split their tongue and then it's 50-50 or oh my God, dude, the amount of people I've seen. Have you seen this, Grandpa?
Never seen the tongue split, but I've seen a fella who had snakes coming down tattooed on his forehead coming down from his hair.
Yeah. What do you think of that?
I wouldn't do it. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. I think I love tattoos, and you do whatever you want. You want a tattoo on your face, but I wouldn't fuck with someone that would do that.
Why is that?
Do you know what kind of tattoo you would want if seeing that you don't have one yet? Have you ever thought about what kind of tattoo you would get, and what circumstances would make you get a tattoo?
Courage, maybe. I don't know.
The word courage or the dog?
Oh no. Courage would make me get it. But I want there's this artist called Luke Chu, and he has a painting called Target. And I want that painting on my chest. I think it'd look really cool.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like a cartoon bear who drew. I can screen share. I don't know.
Yeah, screen share. Let's see. You want this on your chest? You said?
I do. I want it over my heart, Grandpa.
So just the left upper quadrant.
Yeah, left pec. I don't know.
If you had to get a tattoo on your face, What would you do? What would you get?
I mean, Post Malone is doing fucking amazing, and he has several on his face, right?
Well, I mean, not status. I'm just saying, like, if you had to get one, you know.
If I had to get one, please hire me in cursive.
I'm sorry.
Luke.
Like, that sounds a little desperate. I'm not hiring him.
Yeah.
See, my dilemma is where to put one because I'm afraid of needles. Like, doesn't matter if a person has a tattoo and they're like, it's painful. It's not painful. It's cool. I'm like, mm-mm. So if I had to get a tattoo, like I told my stepdad this the other day, I said, I know y'all don't do tattoos, y'all very old school and whatever. But if I got a tattoo, it would say #SQAS. I don't know where I'm gonna put it. I don't know how big it's gonna be, but I know it's gonna be in some kind of cursive and it's gonna be #SQAS.
What is that?
Yeah.
It's a saying my mom always taught me from a kid, and it's stay quietly and shine.
Mm.
So I was bullied a lot as a kid, so she would always tell me that to kind of as a pick me up. And I said, y'all would have to leave this earth physically for me to get that tattooed on me.
Mm. Stay
Something
quiet
that
and
dire.
shine.
Stay quietly and shine.
Stay quietly and shine.
It's delightful.
Mm-hmm.
So cool.
It's just a matter of where to put it now.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm shocked Grandpa doesn't have any tattoos. Doesn't he seem the type?
Not yet.
That we know of, yeah.
Wait, you said not yet?
Yeah.
Well, I could tattoo the world on my butt, whatever.
You know,
Whatever.
when, you know,
Somewhere where
once
people
your 2
can't
weeks
see it.
are up, you guys are gonna link up, and you know, who knows what's gonna happen.
I feel like a lot of people like that when you hit those 80s, like they're like, all right, now I'm gonna start doing drugs or like go crazy, right?
I don't know.
Why? Because they lived the 10.
Is that the thing? Is that what happens, Grandpa?
I mean,
do you know a lot of people your age that are hard on drugs?
Who are you talking to, Phines?
You have 80 year
me?
when your
Oh
friends
no,
hit
I don't
80.
know. I don't know
Friends hit 80.
anyone my age that does drugs, but when I was much younger, I did know people, sure, but not at my age.
Where'd you get this from?
It's a common trope in movies, and I've heard it. Like, what is it? Little Miss Sunshine, the old guy, he's like, this is the perfect time to start. Like, now I want to start living. Or like people that get diagnosed with terminal stuff, they're like, I'm going to trip all the acid now.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But one of my best friends, he's a weightlifter, but he's like, I'm not going to do steroids until I'm in my 70s. And then I'm just going to like do them constantly and get like really. What are you saying, Sierra? Oh, okay.
Because I was looking at her face like something's going on.
Yeah.
I had my one of my closest friends was a Middle Atlantic weightlifting champion, and he did steroids, and he died about 12, 13 years ago from lung cancer. And I don't know whether it was the steroids. He also occasionally smoked a cigar, but I don't think steroids is a good idea. I don't think it, helps your body.
Yeah. But he would. That's why he wouldn't do them until he was really old. He's like, oh, I'm close to the end anyway. Why not have a giant rockin' bod?
It's hard on your heart.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
He'll probably cling to life so much harder. He would never take steroids at that age. He'd be like, I don't want to die now.
Right. It takes something very, very life-threatening to make people be like, you know what? Now I'm gonna live. It's like, I get it, but we should still be, living and doing what we need to do and doing what we want to do while we still have it, because tomorrow is not promised.
Right.
And if that be the case too, it'd be kind of cool for. Now I'm just thinking of a cool job to like go to retirement homes and go, I know you guys are getting old and you might want to try some of these drugs, but don't do it. And it'd be like a piece and like showing like the videos of like why you shouldn't take drugs again, because all the old people are starting to get into the drug phase again.
Start them off small, because now they have classes. Like I know Pacific College in New York has a class on medicinal marijuana, considering that the government is trying to legalize it, but they're going along the fact of you can use weed for diabetes and for high blood pressure and for this, like different strains help with different pathologies. So I'm like, if you want to go into the old folks home, into the retirement home, I'm with you. Let's go.
I saw this hilarious video. Like it just came out recently. 3 grandpas smoking weed for the first time. Have you seen this? Yeah. And like one of them is completely zonked out. Like all of them were like, I've never wanted to do drugs. I've never smoked weed before. And one of them's like completely zonked out. He's like, man, I'm going to do this way more often. And it's like,
it's the calm.
Yeah. Grandpa doesn't like talking about this stuff though.
Well,
You don't like weed,
I don't
Grandpa
know
Bart?
how smart it is to talk about.
Yeah.
But I think it's like anything. Any drug, even the legal drugs, really always. I believe they always have a side effect. They have good side and not so good side, and anything you do. Weed, if you smoke it, has very, very strong. It's very deleterious to your lungs.
Yeah, more than cigarettes. And
well, cigarettes are different.
Smoking-
I think
Smoking anything that
cigarettes is
isn't
cancer.
like oxygen or nitrogen isn't good for your lungs,
Good.
period, because
Yeah.
that's just not what belongs in there. But there's other forms. There's other forms of
edibles.
Yeah, like you can do edibles and different things that don't involve smoke or what is it, topical, like you can get topicals like creams and lotions and stuff that are have just as much of a health benefit to you. It's just a matter of like how long it takes for it to take effect. Like an edible will be faster than a topical.
Not the THC.
But the ones that are for health benefits don't give you a high, and they're totally different. I mean,
Right.
No, it's like the
not
same.
not the same as.
Because they don't have the THC complex in the CBD products.
CBD is different from THC, but THC also has medical
But
properties.
aren't there some medical THC that would get you high that's very beneficial to people, right?
Correct. It's literally the same products, but you're using it for a medicinal purpose.
I think we're stumbling on a generational thing because I feel like a lot of us in our 20s, like it's like the opposite of destigmatized. It's like, yeah, weed's fucking good and I'm like gonna fight for that fact, and then a lot of people in your generation probably were very, the history of it's pretty crazy.
But it's like alcohol. I guess when alcohol was prohibited, people did it anyhow, use it, and I'll bet most of you guys don't do alcohol, even though it's legal.
You'd be wrong.
Maybe have a beer once in a while.
It's all about knowing what you can handle, what you can't handle, what's your limit. Like I know I have some friends who are like, yo, I gotta go home and to get a drink after like a day of work or whatnot. Whereas me, I'm like, okay, we're going on to somebody's birthday party. Okay, somebody's birthday party, like a wedding, like it has to be an event for me to even just like have a drink.
Yeah.
So,
I would argue that that's a bad comparison because weed is much more medicinal than alcohol, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
Some days I just feel like I ought to take a drink.
Alcohol doesn't really have any health properties that I know of, like but marijuana does. If that makes sense.
Well, they say wine, a certain types of wine can be good for you.
I think someone that like getting drunk wrote that article.
Oh, look at this bottle of rosé, by the way.
Ooh, like, yes, Black Girl Magic.
We just got that last weekend. We just tried that. It was okay.
Yeah, you know what? It looks too sweet.
Exciting.
I'm gonna be honest.
It actually wasn't very sweet, but maybe I just have a really big sweet tooth, so maybe you'll like it.
I don't have a sweet tooth. No, I don't like sweet things. So
Then you'll have the time of your life.
I mean, we don't have to talk about drugs, Grandpa, but what are you like drunk? Everybody gets drunk. That's a totally normal thing.
I got drunk like once or twice in my life when I was very young, maybe
really
18, 19 years old. Got sick and never really wanted to drink again.
That's amazing.
But I mean, I've had small amounts of alcohol throughout my life, beer, little wine, once in a while when I was younger and I would go to a club, I'd have a 7 and 7 or cream de mint on the rocks, but not for drinking, just, to have
Social,
something in my
wholesome.
hand pretty much.
Yeah. No.
But I've never been an alcoholic, but I had a girlfriend who was an alcoholic at one time, and it was difficult.
What was difficult about it?
Well, for one thing, I hired her to do work for me, and I had these like 100 slots to put orders in that would get sent out in every evening by UPS to various stores, and she would put the orders in the wrong slots. So that created an issue with the company, obviously.
Yeah.
So
I feel like you're not talking about the more serious hardships.
No, I mean, that's a real serious hardship,
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's costing them money. It impaired judgment and costed money.
Well, I knew another fella who had been a golf pro, and he was a real alcoholic, and he ended up a couple times. He almost died in the hospital. But there's a difference between somebody who's an alcoholic and drink. He would get up in the morning and have a drink right away. And somebody that has an occasional drink, it's totally different.
Yeah.
Very somber discussion.
Well, on a more positive note,
still real though. That's all.
Not positive, but we should ask the question of why do people have to drink? Why they feel the need to? Maybe because it's a pandemic.
Yeah.
Ghetto.
Because what's ghetto?
I think everybody should have a massage and not drink. That's just my professional opinion.
Well, shoot, I'll tell you what. One's cheaper than the other.
Because we're all stressed with this pandemic, and especially if you had COVID.
You had COVID? What was your experience? Recent or?
This was January.
Okay.
So it's like, for me, it wasn't that bad. Like, I felt like I had a cold. I had tightness in my chest, and I couldn't breathe much. I didn't lose my taste. I didn't lose my smell. Nothing like that. But the mental anguish that you go through in the thought process, I had to keep telling myself, wake up alive every morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because we've been going through, as people in general, we've been going through this pandemic for a year. We've lost people. People have gotten sick. People are still in comas. People have died and people not know when, whatever the case may be. And we're dealing with grief on top of grief on top of grief. So people are uptight. Hence the reason they probably going for a drink, which is why I say they need a massage instead. But yeah, that mental anguish is enough to make anybody have a different thought process than they had pre-COVID.
Yeah. Was the mental anguish like just inflamed by like the fact that like the quarantine and or what caused the mental anguish?
I didn't start to get antsy until like my 8th or 9th day of quarantine. Because if you talk to anybody about me or ask about me, I'm like Energizer Bunny. I go, do what I have to do, whatever the case may be. One of my colleagues had said the other day, because I know a couple of people who had it, she said it almost was resembling the HIV/AIDS epidemic, where it was a situation like, we don't know what's happening. We know there's something, but we don't know about it. So people are scared. People are like, don't touch me. Like, oh, don't, like, stay away. Like, it's almost like you're the leper of the community and nobody wants to deal with you. Then you feel like, okay, I have this. The people who are there for you and are checking up on you, you're grateful for that. But then it's like the people that know and they're not checking up on you, and then you feel like people don't care and who's there for you and all these different types of stuff. Thank God we have stuff like Instacart, Walmart delivery, Uber Eats, Grubhub, all these different things that we're still able to get food. But the hardest part for me, apart from that, was just walking up and down one flight of stairs just to get my food. I walked down, I'm like, all right, cool. Walk up, I was like,
so winded.
Yep.
I wonder if during the HIV AIDS scare, there was just like a bunch of idiots running around back then too, just being like, Nah, this isn't real. Somebody
Yeah.
made this up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was definitely that around.
There's studies on it where like it's like a defeatist mentality where like if it feels like, oh, I'm gonna get it to such a degree, people almost go out and fuck more because they're like, well, I just like let me get the,
I've just been rubbing my blood everywhere because it's fake, just to prove a point.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't even tell my parents because I was like,
The
y'all
stigma.
are in your 60s. My dad is dealing with diabetes and high blood pressure. Like, he checks his sugar and blood pressure 3 times a day. I don't need to put that extra worry on you guys. Like, both of them are 67.
Oh my gosh.
I don't need them to have that extra worry. So my mom texts me every day and she sends her little prayer and her little scripture because she's very religious and whatnot. And I'll text, yeah, I'm good, just relaxing or whatever. Like, if I'm just going about my day.
Right.
Mhm.
I had to keep it as normal as possible, even from my state. So
yeah.
Little white lies, but it's good it's good. I mean, but those are good though. It's like, it's not like in that situation you're not putting anybody it's not like you're in contact with your parents. So by telling them, it's only going to make them more
worried. Yeah, my cousin cursed me out. I told her after the fact. I told her after my quarantine, and she cursed me out.
I would have cussed you out too.
Mm-hmm. I would have
waited until you were 100% and drove on up there and.
No, she's a trad too.
Giving you a paper cut. I don't know.
No, I was like, listen, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna need you to take a deep breath. And I told her, and she started cursing me out. And I'm like, where are you? She said, I'm downstairs. I said, do you have your headset on? She said, no. I said, then shut the hell up.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would have flown on up there.
Because your mom can't hold water. She's going to tell another relative going to tell and going to pass and going to pass. I'm not trying to worry anybody. It's over. I'm all right. I'm alive. I'm better. But no, she was just cursing me out on the phone.
I would have cussed you out too.
A mess. But yeah, people should just get massages and not turn to the alcohol and thing and whatnot. But it's also understanding your grief cycle with everything going on.
I mean, yeah, massages are also a hard coping mechanism during the pandemic. But like, I don't know. I need vices. Like, I need something to, I mean, everything's so stressful, so.
You know what else would have helped instead of a massage? Money.
Oh God.
If we'd actually gotten money like every other damn developed country on the globe and had just gotten money so that we didn't have to worry about like killing ourselves and our families just to work to not die anyway, that would have been helpful. That would have helped a lot of stress, I think. You
heard about the guy that killed his girlfriend for her stimulus check, right?
I didn't, but I believe it.
For the stimulus?
For her stimulus, yep.
For the 1,200?
Well,
because there's only been
and they had a kid,
3 of them,
so there was an extra money involved. And yeah, he asked for some. She was like, "No, I take care of our kid." And it was in the news, like I think it was Iowa, something like that, Minnesota, something like that. I have to remember the state, but I was like, people are really seeing the hard times to the point where we're harming each other to make sure that people stay afloat, and that's crazy.
It's so sad.
It's awful. I live in a city. It's supposed to be the city of brotherly love. Excuse me. And there's a shooting almost every day here. Philadelphia now has like the highest murder rate in the United States. Awful.
Mm-hmm.
During the pandemic, like it's increased?
Yeah, just in the last year, it used to be Camden, which was right over the river from Philadelphia. It used to be the highest murder rate, and now it's Philadelphia. Every day, almost you hear of a young kid getting shot or somebody. It's awful. It's awful.
I wonder why.
Well, I think a lot of it does. It can be attributed to the pandemic. Some of it.
Probably poverty, resources, stress, gun laws, shitty police.
Not everybody has that good old salary job where no matter how much work you do, you still get the same amount of money.
Mm-hmm. It's true. True.
It's the paycheck to paycheck life, and then you have to figure out other ways and do other things, and then you become a jack or a jill of all trades, doing all these different things. But the plus side is now you have a bunch of new skills to put on your resume.
I'm such a good roller skater now.
See, professional roller skater. There you go.
That'd go super well with the tattoo on your head that says, "Please hire me."
You think I won't?
I'm trying.
Hey, Brandon. So what did we just say we were going to do when a guest showed up? How did we say how it's gonna work?
I guess we could introduce the show and start the episode. Wait, I don't see them. Where are they?
Jessica's here.
Sorry, I just came from a photo shoot, so that's why I look like this.
Girl, you don't apologize. What are you doing? Hello.
We actually paused the photo shoot so I could do this. So.
Oh my God! Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh,
We
you
so
look
appreciate it.
wonderful.
Yes, girl.
Welcome.
How was the photo shoot going?
It's really cool. I'm doing this like photo series where each month is a different color.
Oh, cool.
So right now we're obviously on green. So
Yeah.
we're doing it like outside and everything, and it's really cool.
Can you tell us what it's for, or is it like hush, hush?
No, yeah, it's just for my portfolio. I'm just trying to make sure like everything's like super versatile and can see that I can do like different things. And a lot of my shoots are in studio, but this one's outside. So I really have a love for like creative direction and design. So I like make a mood board, plan all the shoots, like do that kind of thing. So
Wonderful.
Okay, Miss Editorial, I see you.
thank you. With the law, the big law.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I've done a couple photo shoots and it's such a difficult skill to like actually, because it seems so simple and then it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so bright in here and my fit. What is my fit? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. The wind was not on our side today. So
No.
That's how they get you every time.
Making the best of it though. Sure.
Yeah. Before you got on, we were talking about COVID. Pandemic. I think bad medical experiences. I don't know.
Yeah, any of those.
We're talking about doom and
intense.
gloom. There's drugs.
Yeah.
Drug overuse.
Yeah. So if you like puppies or anything like that, we could
gosh, I love puppies.
totally switch. I do too.
I mean, I'm up for anything. I'm an open book here, so I could talk about anything for days.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Is it okay if I ask, have you gotten COVID yet? Like,
Yeah.
So I've not
That's
gotten
such a weird
COVID.
question, right?
I've not gotten COVID. I actually today marked my 2 week after getting my second shot. I got Pfizer.
Nice.
So
Amazing.
Yeah.
Cool.
I got Pfizer.
Pfizer gang.
Grandpa, are you 2 weeks out?
I am.
Oh,
I'm
now
2
we can
weeks
hang
from the
out.
second shot.
Yeah.
Pardon?
we can hang out now.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm coming to your place, Grandpa, and just going to cough everywhere. It's going to be great.
Well,
Be great.
we could do without that, but
Yeah. Did you get side effects from the vaccine?
absolutely none. My wife got some side effects. Oh, you were talking with a lady. I'm
Sorry, my door's like opening. I don't know what's happening.
Oh,
It's
no,
just
no, no.
ghosts. It's fine. Don't worry
It's
about
an
it.
Yeah,
I was just about to say.
Friendly. From the first one I did, actually, it was like pretty immediate. I got
Yeah.
like cold sweats, and I lived like 10 minutes from where I got like the vaccine, and I was like sleepy instantly. Like I was like ready to fall asleep, like sitting in traffic.
Mhm.
And then I took like a nap for like maybe like 5 or 6 hours, and then I was okay, maybe like a little groggy, but the second shot I like felt nothing.
Wow.
Cool. Yeah, I had a
Nice.
very similar experience actually. I had a worse first side effect than that. Even I was bedridden for like at least 24 hours. Like I could not, and I was like, okay, like my arm was killing me and I felt a little weird the first few hours, but I woke up in the middle of the night that first night and it was really, really bad. And nobody talked about it. So I didn't know that that could happen, So
interesting because I always thought that you had the worst effect on the second shot, but
Yeah, that's what I heard.
second shot wasn't that bad for me. It was like a little fever, like after I got the second shot, I had some wine and some whiskey that night. And then I woke up the next morning feeling like I was like, oh, this is my immune system not doing perfect. But the
Yeah.
first one, I was really scared. Yeah. I didn't know what was going to happen. So,
Yeah.
but Yeah. What about do you guys think you'll get the vaccine, Phines, Sierra?
Got mine Monday, bitch.
Oh
Ready to
shit.
go.
Yes. Yeah.
She all set.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
Finest already said,
can't wait.
I think you said that you're not going to get it. Didn't you, Finest, or am I wrong about that?
Now he changed his mind.
You said you're wrong. Yeah. I'm doing okay. Yeah, I'm doing it.
You're gonna do it. Cool. Nice. And what about you, Narissa?
I'm still on the fence, honestly.
Yeah.
That's how a lot of my friends are. My family, like, they all got it, but a lot of my friends are like,
I
not
told my
about it.
family. I said, you can't come over here without your card. They're like, oh, this we do 4th of July, we do barbecue. No.
yeah.
See,
Yeah.
I would rather continue to get tested because I have to get tested on a weekly basis anyway for work
I do too.
than to take because I'm like it's almost like meeting a complete stranger and then they're like, hey, I'm gonna move in with you for like 3 months, and I'm looking at it like I don't know you.
Mhm. Yeah. We still have to get tested at work, even if we got the vaccine. So,
Well, you can
Yeah.
still get it and spread it is the thing.
exactly.
So I get that.
And not know.
Mhm.
I
Or
was
you
in
just
a
won't have it as bad. Sorry, go ahead.
I was in a small restaurant today, and mostly elderly people, and it was the first time I've seen a bunch of people. They weren't wearing masks. They were elderly people. I
Ew.
guess they've pretty much gotten their shots, and it was kind of uplifting because to know that people are starting to get back to a normal life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's something to, like, I know you quarantine with Linda, grandpa, but like, for example, my grandmother, I don't know if anybody else has family that went through this. She quarantined for a year without seeing another person, period. Like, groceries dropped off in the garage, waited until they were disinfected, and watched TV. And it's not like she's on Facebook, but she's not like interacting with people. She doesn't video chat, right? Like, I cannot imagine, like, if I wanted to like do damage to someone in their 80s, like I would put them through that, so. And obviously it's good that she's quarantining, but I just can't imagine the emotional, all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
So, Jessica, I'm a little dense this way. What is your career? I know you said that you're doing some sort of. You did a shoot today, and what type?
Yeah,
of
I'm like
career
a jack of all trades here. I mean, no, I'm a genius admin at Apple. My background's in computer science. I have a degree in computer science and business. I've worked at Apple. I'm actually celebrating my 3rd year at Apple this month, so like that's very
Amazing.
exciting.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And then I just have a love for creative direction and modeling and acting. I'm signed to a couple of agencies for that. So now that I have my vaccine, now I can start auditioning a little bit more, and it's not so much remote, so it can kind of get back into the feel of that. But yeah,
That's
Cool.
dope.
like to stay busy,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you happy
Yes,
with
girl.
computer science, or the hope is to transition into acting?
I think for me, like financially, like I would always have a job doing something with computers just because it is such a powerful field. And I think being a woman in the sciences is a really great option for me, just because I'm not your stereotypical computer science girl. But I love making apps and web design, so that's something that I freelance on the side as well. I've done them for like companies and just like smaller businesses, so that's something I would always do. If I could be a full-time actor and like commercial print, I would love to do that. I love to do voiceover. I've worked on films and commercials and everything and advertisements. If that could be something I could do for a living, then yes, I would love to do it. But I also love website. The nerd in me is like, keep on with those websites.
Yes, girl.
What's
So
the what's the genie in the bottle dream, like acting wise or like modeling wise?
Modeling wise would to be on the cover of Paper magazine. That's my favorite
Cool.
publish. Like
Cool.
I just love that. Acting, I would love to be in a Nicholas Sparks movie just because I'm so dramatic in my everyday life. So I feel like
What are the Nicholas Sparks movies that have been out? Sorry, I'm like super...
Dear John, the last
Okay.
song. I've never seen them have a redhead, so I'm waiting for that. Like,
Yeah, they need to bring a redhead in that.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like, let's spice it up a little. You know?
Nice.
So.
Yeah.
They need more redheads on the performing circuit. They need
And
it.
I'm here. I'm here with my fake hair. I am here. ready to
That's so
go.
funny.
Guys,
When you
shine.
do computer design, what program do you use? Do you
Yeah, so I do some with like C++. I love Java. A lot of people don't like touching that, but I love Java. I had co-founded an organization in college, and we built the app in Swift. Like we taught ourselves that, which was like really cool considering I like started working at Apple, which is like their coding base. So like that was really awesome. But I'll do anything. Like I do stuff with like database, like SQL and like that kind of thing. Python a little bit. I think Python might have been one of the first ones I learned, but a lot of C++ and Objective-C.
Cool.
Wow. Over my head.
Yeah.
I heard some of those things.
Bro, we gonna need to connect because
Hey, I'm here. I don't have a business card with me, but I'm here. Find me on LinkedIn.
that's all right. Theater person to theater person, girl.
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah.
That looks like a Zoomies here.
Yeah, waiting room
We're good.
or
We're good.
whatever. Yeah.
Okay, so later she turned her camera off, which is perfect. Thank you, Sydney.
Sweet.
For the system. It's working. It's a work in progress.
This is a whole party. I'm
Yeah.
so in love with this right now. This is
Cool.
Yeah, this is really fun.
Are
This
you
is fun.
are you glad to never use clean feed again? Is that a plus?
I mean, yeah, like the first time we actually had the Zoom and the video, it was wonderful to see you guys' faces, but it was always like this person next, then so we never really got to meet and mingle with each other in that aspect. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Narissa, Jessica, Narissa.
Hey, Jess girl.
Yeah, we're in flux in our 30s of the episodes, trying to figure out the best like tech, whatever.
Yeah, that's what happens, you know.
This does feel like a little more like
I think this is
flowier.
cool. Yeah.
Than our last few episodes for sure.
Yeah.
I was on a podcast. My friend actually just dropped one. It's called oh my gosh, he's gonna kill me. Making a martini up straight or up down and straight to the point. Something like that. Something about martini. I don't drink
I have to
martini.
go look for that. Hold on.
Yeah, find it real quick.
It's a good title.
Yeah. And I actually used to work with him, and he had me on because I have a brand, like an organization. And it was about like voting. Like I created these masks to sell, and then we did something for the beginning of the pandemic, because I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yes, Steel City.
Yeah. And we raised over 8,000 meals for the Pittsburgh Community Food Bank with my organization. And we were talking about it on the podcast, and it was just like so cool. But like I know him. So it was like he was like, let's just do it over Zoom. And then it's like we're actually talking and having a real conversation. So I think it brings it more to life.
Is his name Caleb?
Caleb, yep.
Making a martini up, dry, and straight to the point.
There it is. Up, dry, and straight to the point.
Is it a podcast about cocktails?
He does introduce a cocktail in everything. He loves his cocktails.
Yeah.
He
Perfect
swears a
segue.
little bit in it, so it's a little vulgar, but
We just did 20 minutes on alcohol. So who better to talk about it than with Jessica?
Yeah.
No, I'd love. Well, were you like a cocktail expert? Like you brought him a cocktail for his episode?
So he does it per theme. So like the theme of his episode. So like ours was about like voting and all of that, because that's what I produced this campaign called Voice Your Vote. Right. And so he did like a patriotic
got you
for us.
I see. That is cute. That's cool.
That's very cool. Yeah. We were talking about alcohol, but really like vices in general during the pandemic, and like how people are coping and stuff like that. So
Yeah. I had actually given up alcohol after my New Year's going into 2020. I should have known that after that New Year's 2020 was going to be terrible. And then I gave up alcohol, but my roommate at the time, he was like, well, what else is there to do? Like, let's drink. And so got back into drinking again.
Yeah. I think like it was really funny during 2019 or 2020 New Year's. Everybody's like, fuck 2019. This was such a bad year. 2020 is our year. Woo! Like, fuck it.
2020 is like, and I took that personally.
Yeah.
Like, let's bring it back. I can't.
Yeah. So.
But yeah.
Yeah. How was your 2019, Grandpa? You miss it?
Can't remember that far back.
What did you have for breakfast today, Grandpa?
It's a hard question.
Yeah, no, it's
Today
really hard.
I had eggs Benedict.
That's my favorite.
What is eggs Benedict?
I've never had it.
What does that mean?
It's heaven on a plate, literally.
It's kind of like a poached egg, and they put a little
Hollandaise.
Cheese Hollandaise sauce on
But what is a poached egg? What does that mean?
Just boiled in water, basically. You boil an egg in water and kind of boil it until it's like semi hard, but not.
Yeah, it breaks like
still
very
has some yolk.
easily.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could someone that's really bad at cooking be able to poach the egg? Like, could I?
Well, I'm bad at cooking and I can't do it. So
okay, so I'm fucked. Thanks.
I think if you're bad at cooking, the first thing you should cook is a hard-boiled egg.
Yes.
I can't. Yeah. Well,
Do that
okay.
do something on purpose because then you're just gonna try to make a hard-boiled egg and it's gonna be fucked. You're gonna be like, yes, here's my poached egg, everybody.
Maybe
I've
just
never. I can't do the hard-boiled egg because like I do all the instructions perfectly, and then when I get to the part where I peel, it's like, okay, like crack, peel, and then the fucking half of it's just gone. Like, I'm like taking chunks out of every egg.
We'd be the best of friends.
Yeah, dude. We'd eat shit food all the time.
I'll cook for y'all.
Yeah, somebody can cook for me.
I'll cook for y'all.
Okay, I'll be there.
I love to cook. I love to bake.
Yeah.
Like I'm about to make some pasta with some ground beef and some baked beans.
I'm just gonna
make a macaroni pie, baked chicken, some rice and peas.
I'm there. Let's do it. Okay, so when I follow a recipe, it always goes the opposite. So I cook like the same 2 or 3 things over and over again. But people that cook, like Narissa, do you like do new things all the time or not? It's like same shit.
Of course you have your comfort foods, especially like the stuff that and that's ingrained in your body when you're rushing and you're like, I can do this, boom, good. But to really do a new recipe, you have to sit down and plan it out. And that's one of the things I was taught because we had food and nutrition in high school. So we had to do that for like a final exam. So we had to do a plan of work, get our ingredients, and actually time out like when stuff is on the stove, how to prep, how to cook the different dishes, how long it's gonna take. So like for me, something I can like throw together real simple is a macaroni pie. It literally takes maybe about 10 minutes to put together, cook and put together, and 30 minutes to bake in oven. It's basically the Caribbean version of a mac and cheese, except ours cuts out like if you're cutting out like an actual pie, like a cherry pie, apple pie. It comes out like a pie slice.
I'm gonna need you to send some to Pittsburgh.
Please. Like not even the recipe, because just like not even gonna try, but like
no, you can listen. That's the simplest. That's the one recipe, in my opinion, you cannot mess up.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
I taught my resident director to do it, and she put 5 bags of cheese. But she asked me, she's like, "How much cheese?" I'm like, "Put as much as you want." She put 5 bags.
I put a lot of cheese in my macaroni.
There you go.
Breadcrumbs.
Every relationship or friendship I've ever been in, I'm always like, "Oh, I can't sing. I can't." And they're like, "Nah, you can sing." And then like I can't. Like you find out the hard truth later. So like I really can't cook.
But you can though. It's just that your tone is different than the actual music tones, but it's still a tone.
Yeah. I can cook my version of your macaroni pie.
Our tone, I feel like our tone breaks glasses and not.
Yeah. It's
Listen, that's a skill. Put on the
Someone needs to break glasses, you know?
Yeah, I thought I needed to improve my cooking, but it's really my positivity that needs work.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I'll send you the recipe so you can share.
that's awesome. Grandpa, you were about to say something. I cut you off.
No, I was shaking my head at Rosie, the conure bird.
Oh, okay. Hi, Rosie.
The kinder one.
It's about 4:45. We want to get a Zoomie on.
Yeah. I'm also going to try to figure out who Kevin is because that's not
Kevin.
the name I received.
Cool. Hey, Zoomie, are you there?
Hello.
Hey.
It's been a while.
We miss you.
Hi, Azumi.
I know, I miss you too. I've been like, every time you sent me the invitation, I had something to do. And then every time you haven't sent me the invitation, I had a free Wednesday night.
Oh, no. Any Wednesday, just anytime. You're always invited. So,
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I was bad.
Next time he's gonna be like, sorry, you can't. We got something going on.
Except next week's episode, but whatever.
Yeah.
No, actually, we're having a sleep expert on next week, so I'm looking for like 4 or 5 guests who have trouble sleeping. Yeah, you want to come?
I can't. That's the thing. I can't. Though.
Yeah.
I'll be at work till 8.
Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah. How have you been? Are you more of a Narissa cooker or a Brandon cooker, Azumi?
So Marissa is good at cooking, right? Brandon don't know how to make boil the egg.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, I don't know if I'm good or not, but I can make myself a dinner for myself, but I'm not a cook for someone else. You know what I mean? I can do something, I can survive my own, but I can't do anything fancy.
Yeah.
But I think I'm good at managing the plan, like a meal plan for the week, or, you know, when you purchase something like a cabbage or something, you have to think about it. You got an entire cabbage and you use it a little bit for tonight's dinner, and then how are you going to do with the rest? You know, lunch, then night after that. So it's like you don't want to keep eating the cabbage every night. So you have to really think about it. So I'm more like that kind of cook. So I cannot cook anything fancy like egg Benedict. I can't. I don't know how to do that.
That's Grandpa, you cooked that yourself this morning, right?
Oh, no, I went to a restaurant today.
Of
That's
course.
hilarious.
Very unusual. I was saying before, I was surprised because it was like a lot of older retired people in this restaurant for lunch, and it was very busy, and they weren't wearing masks, which is very unusual. That apparently they've all now gotten their second shots, and you know the week's gone by, a couple weeks. So it was a good feeling that things are sort of getting back to normal, hopefully.
Do you have touches of like nervousness, like a jerk reaction of still like scared around people, or no?
No, I really haven't been scared at all. I just know that, you know, you have to be as cautious as possible, and once in a while you take a chance, but I think that's the only answer. Wear a mask and keep your hands clean and stay a distance, and that's really what you need to do.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Worry about it.
I feel like, and I was talking to somebody about this like yesterday, like the anxieties or the knee-jerk reactions to a lot of like the fear stuff. Like I got my second dose and I'm still like, I have to tell myself like, we're good. Like, it's okay. You know?
Well, you mentioned that you got the Pfizer, and that seems to be very good. You know, we hope that it doesn't, you know, these other strains of the COVID are a little bit concerning.
It's hard too, right? Because like Johnson & Johnson, for example, everybody's like, it's fine. You're so safe. And now like half the states already recalled it. So
That's so interesting that they.
Yeah, what do you think about that, Sierra? I'm curious.
I saw on Twitter, it was mostly women complaining about it. Well, not complaining, but just like, it's not like a complaint. It's just like an interesting thing to notice because they've literally, out of like, I don't know how many, like hundreds of thousands of vaccines they've administered of this company or whatever, literally only 6 women have had blood clots that have also received this vaccine. And I just thought, and people were saying it was so interesting because literally for just about any birth control that exists, we get a risk of suicidal thoughts, higher anxiety, somehow an even worse depression, blood clots, endometriosis, what else? Bone damage, like it can weaken your bones in your pelvis, all kinds of freaking shit. And that's just the way it is. It's not like, oh, 18 women in our trial test got this, so just be careful. Like that's just something that could just happen to you. You could just be about your business and get a blood clot because you literally have to use birth control because you live on Earth and Earth is ghetto. So you don't have that. That's just something you have to live with.
Yeah, and it's only 6 out of a million.
Exactly. Right.
But it's the US government. They're pausing it for everybody. Like and who's going to want to take the Johnson & Johnson if Pfizer and they're so readily of it,
Yeah. It's weird. It just seems weird that would be, I don't know. It just seems weird to me that they would stop everything. I mean, I get that blood clots are very serious, but again, it's like I'm constantly being, well, just the fact that I'm constantly being given drugs that have several terrible side effects that could kill me at any time, but I have to take them, and they've decided that that's acceptable for me to have that risk.
Well, the issue may be that they know of 6. There may be others who they're not aware of, and they're waiting, given a little more time.
I guess
find out.
There was something at the factory, right? They found some kind of problem, like a production problem at the plant. So they were like they couldn't produce a lot in any way.
Yeah, didn't they like waste or just like didn't they ruin a bunch of vaccines too?
They created the formula wrong for like X amount of doses, but that ironically happened at the same time as the blood clots, but I don't know. Have you been vaccinated, Azumi?
Yes.
Are you in the Pfizer gang?
Pfizer gang. Yeah. So you got vaccinated? Sure.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Everybody?
Not yet. Not everybody.
Okay. So how did you feel after the second shot?
I really didn't feel anything. I think it might have just been like the adrenaline and fear, because actually I thought I was really scared that I was gonna like just be really sick or something and not even be able to drive myself home or anything. But I was like just pumped up. I came home, I like cleaned a bunch of stuff. I was working and moving things, and then I was good.
Nothing?
No, the first shot, I was like dead tired the whole week, basically. But I was really surprised I didn't get anything on the second one.
So it's like that. So people who felt something after the first shot, they don't feel anything after the second shot. It's something like that, right? Okay. So I didn't feel anything after the first shot, and then after the second shot. So when I got the second shot, the Navy guy told me like people usually start feeling sick after 12 hours. So I got the shot in the 10:30 a.m. and I went home doing some stuff, feeling totally fine. And at night, so I was talking with my mom at night. And then I was doing some Zoom meeting with somebody else. And then after that, I talked to my mom and saying like, because my mom knows that I got the second shot on that day. So she called me asking like, how was it? Did you get anything? And then I said, no, I'm fine. Shut up. I'm fine. But, so I was talking to my mom, and then after I hung up the call, that was like around 9:30 p.m., almost 10 p.m. So I started feeling it. It's like started feeling like really sick or like really bad flu kind of feeling, like a chill and tired, like body all the muscle started aching. Yeah, I felt it. And then the entire night, I felt like I was like, I literally had to make that sound because like entire body is like so aching. And I couldn't sleep because it's too much pain in an entire body.
Yeah.
And I was like rolling around on my bed. And so, yeah. And the second after that, the next day, I still feel like, feeling like a flu kind of tiredness.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I survived.
Yeah. I think I got the first shot 3-4 weeks ago, and like nobody had talked about bad side effects. Everybody is like, oh, it's so mild, like nothing. And so I was like freaking out. I was like, did I catch COVID or something 5 days ago? You know? So yeah, I think people were doing that because they didn't want to like scare people off from getting the vaccine. But like, I don't think that's you don't lie to people or like bullshit them.
Yeah.
To get what you want.
Know.
Tell me it's a bad side effect and I'll still take it. I just was like freaking out a little bit. I was like, what the fuck's, because the day after my first dose, I was like more sick than I had been even with the flu, just not with the lung stuff. So yeah. I don't know. Also, Narissa and Jessica, we kept you way over if you need to leave or anything like that.
Okay, yeah, I just have to. I have my makeup artist in my hair.
Oh my God, yeah.
Totally
sorry.
just
Be
go,
fancy.
man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for coming on. We loved having you. Please,
Yeah.
you're always invited.
I'm so excited. I was finally able to come on. So
Feel free to email us back like some links or something so we can share
you know what's interesting?
Yeah, this is crazy.
We went to school, not even 10 miles from each other?
Yeah, like so close, college. Isn't that why?
Wait, what?
Whoa, wait, what?
Yeah, she just added me on LinkedIn and she was like, cool friends, and I was like, what?
She went to Seton Hill University. I went to St. Vincent College.
They're like brother-sister schools.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
So we have like 22 mutual friends, and I'm like, girl, I haven't met you in a previous life. What?
That's hilarious. I
that
love
shit
that.
does not happen with the fucking clean feed. So there we go. Yeah.
And now you have to cook for me. I'll buy groceries and you can cook for me.
Listen, I still have to come back to St. Vincent College, so I'll come with food. Let's go. All my Pennsylvania people, if you are in Latrobe and you want to come to homecoming, please do. I will bring food.
Yeah. That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Jessica, you were awesome. And
Thank you guys
Narissa,
so
you can
much.
stay.
It was so fun.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm a peace out too, guys.
Have a great night. Bye.
See you guys. Bye.
Let's get our old pal Kevin/Tom over here.
Yeah, we're having a straight up party this episode.
He's had to keep so still the whole time.
It wasn't easy.
Hello.
Good to have you on the show.
Yes. Nice to be back.
Yeah. It has been. You've been listening in for a while. I don't know where you at.
I came in about 15-20 minutes ago.
Okay. Vaccines, cooking, hard-boiled eggs.
Hard-boiled eggs I have no use for.
Me neither. It's a me problem. Are you vaccinated?
Yes. Back beginning of March, we got the vaccination.
Said that like a pickup line. I'm sorry. Are you vaccinated?
Hey babe, I'm vaccinated.
Tom, when you go out to a restaurant, if you do go, do you feel pretty secure about not having a problem from COVID?
We typically don't go out to eat. If we do anything it's takeout.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's been a couple of times we've been out, even before being vaccinated, but only a couple of times. And the restaurants we've been to have been very thoughtful about social distancing and how they handle everything.
And you and your whoever you live with in your household, they're all vaccinated?
Yeah, my wife and I are both vaccinated. Yep.
So what is the hesitation or choice for?
She's still really not comfortable going out.
Yeah.
She's concerned about it. I work part-time, and where I work, they're very, very cognizant of what they need to do and how they handle things. So I'm more comfortable with it than she is.
Gotcha.
I went out today for the first time to a small breakfast lunch place, and I was surprised. It was mostly older retired people, and they weren't even wearing masks or anything in the restaurant. It was pretty busy. And that's the first time I've seen that, where people are less afraid to go out and, be in the company of other people.
Yeah, we went out about probably a week ago and had lunch at a restaurant place we wanted to go to for a while. And everybody was well distanced. Wait staff was wearing masks. When we got to the table, we took our masks off. Then we left, we put them back on, and then we left. So we were fairly comfortable there. And it's unusual for my wife to be that comfortable. I'm a little bit better at it.
Yeah.
Which vaccine did you get?
We got the Pfizer.
Pfizer.
Yeah.
But this is what Grandpa and I were just saying before, is like, he seems fine with it. I still have this knee-jerk reaction of like fear, but like I'm bringing myself back logically of like 95% effectiveness, and I'm still being responsible. Like, what is that leap for you guys of like, when do you think, what would make you go back and be like, all right, I'm going to go to a jazz club or sit at a bar? Or
for myself, I think more people being vaccinated and less people coming down with it, the COVID, and like I say, lower death rate.
Got you.
Yeah, I'm in no rush to really go to those types of venues at this point.
Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, we got a shop.
That's a nice fireplace you have behind you, Tom. Is that what that is?
That's
I
what
think
that
it's
is.
virtual.
That's not behind me right now. It's upstairs.
Okay.
That's
cool.
hilarious.
Yeah. Is that a virtual background, Azumi, or you just have a really blurry?
That's my
It's blurred.
Got you. And what were you saying, Tom?
Pardon?
Sorry, I cut you off. What were you saying a second ago, Tom?
That's I'm in the basement, and that fireplace is upstairs.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah,
I do some Zoom meetings, and so I, instead of putting green screen behind me, I figured out how to add the fire.
That might be the most realistic one I've seen.
Yeah.
Wait, that's still your fireplace?
Yeah, that's
yeah,
it is.
So,
Isn't that clever?
But a photo of your fireplace that you took. Wow.
Yeah.
Could be anywhere right now.
Yeah, I could do something.
We were talking about this before, but I'm curious, both of you guys, Azumi and Tom, like what were your, nice, Azumi. For the audio listeners, she just went to Harry Potter.
Harry Potter? Do you think Harry Potter?
There's not a broom in there.
Victorian.
I think that's for like
that's your upstairs.
Victorian or we're like a museum kind of.
Very fancy.
It's a dream of mine to get Grandpa to have a virtual background.
You don't have a virtual background today, do you, Brandon?
Yeah, but you turn it on whenever you want, Grandpa.
Well, I've noticed when you have your virtual background on, that it's like, for instance, if you have a microphone in there, it'll cut out part of your face, or like.
Yeah, if I do something like this,
it's gotta be, and not your hand, like a.
Yeah, it's like it looks weird.
Yeah, technology's not completely caught up with us yet.
Yeah.
But okay, my question to both of you guys, we were talking about it before you got on. What are your vices during the pandemic? Like, how have you guys been keeping sane through the last year?
You want me to go first, or you going to go first?
You can go first.
Okay. I have my model trains, my Lionel trains when I was a kid.
Wow.
So I've got a layout in my basement, and that's where I go pretty much after dinner till my wife calls me like 1 o'clock in the morning and saying it's time to go to bed.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's the healthiest.
Yeah.
That's the healthiest place.
We moved here 4 years ago, and I've been working on it for about 3 years.
Oh, that's so cool.
Great hobby.
Mm.
Do you have pictures of it?
Yeah, I do. I got
You know-
some videos too.
You know how to screen share?
No,
Well, dang.
that I don't know how to do.
Next time.
But I just assumed that you did because you got your upstairs and your downstairs in the background.
I don't ask me how I did it. I don't know. I got that done, and if my daughter-in-law was here, one of my daughter-in-law, she could do all that. So I'm not up to that.
Maybe next time when we have you on, you'll be able to show us some of your some
Okay.
works you made. Yeah.
So that's what I do to keep myself busy. It's kind of a labor of love, and when I was working, it was my mental therapy to go play with them and work on them.
A nice hobby.
Mm.
It reminds me, back in the 60s, I had a piece of machinery designed by a guy who made the equipment for Reynolds Aluminum Company that made pie pans. It's a rotary indexing table, but he also made these trains like locomotives. He bought kits, and every part was machined, from steel and whatever, and it was terrific. It was a real museum quality piece, and I always wished I could afford to buy it. It's probably worth quite a bit of money now. Something you would find in a museum.
Yeah, it tends to be an old man's hobby.
Sounds fun. I would do it.
How does one get into the model train world?
I got in as a child. There
Okay.
was always a train under the Christmas tree, and now there's still always a train under the Christmas tree.
It's the sweetest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Cool. What about you, Azumi?
I'll be back in a second.
No
Okay.
problem.
Okay. I'm not sane, so I don't know how to keep myself sane.
Yeah. No,
That was
yeah.
great. That was great.
Coping with the pain of the pandemic. Anything?
Well, it's the same. Like my life is like even before the COVID, I'm freelancer. When I don't have any jobs, I just stay home. Sometimes I don't get anything for a week. I'm gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
I watch anime. That's what I do mostly.
What's your favorite right now? What are you watching right now?
Okay, I wanted to tell you something. Some anime I recently find on YouTube. So I watch every kinds of anime you mentioned. I probably watched it, but
Oh, wow.
anyway, the one I recently found on YouTube is called "The World of Golden Eggs." You guys
Golden eggs.
make sure Google it later. World of Golden Eggs. That's not a typical anime. It's a computer graphics kind of stuff, but how they make it is like it's really different. So it's in Japanese, but I think you can find it with English subtitle.
Yeah.
So the way they created the anime is like they did the voiceover first. They recorded their voices, and they almost sound like two friends, like two really good friends, like goofing around.
Yeah.
And then so sometimes they say something stupid, and then they like laugh at each other, and then they recorded the laughing.
That is hilarious.
And then they make that computer graphics, the anime with that, so that character is like laughing like this.
That's funny.
That's really fun.
That looks so. I like it. It's like it's so different. Yeah.
Azumi, the background that I'm seeing, is that your home or is that virtual?
No, it's virtual. Yes.
Oh, I
wish I could live something like this, but it's like there's no glass in that window. So if I live here,
I lost the audio.
She looked like she's about to
There's,
jump
like,
out the
a
window.
lot of
A little bit of lag.
sorry, my
It's all
internet just
good.
spoke. Yeah, I need a glass on that window. You see, there's no glass.
You are funny.
I had to look this up because of the way you were describing it, Azumi, and it looks freaking hilarious.
Yeah, I'm curious how you feel with that anime because that's in Japanese, so you can get a meaning by the subtitle, but I don't know how you take it because they speak Japanese. So I want to know.
Does
Do you
the egg
find-
like mean something, or is it
Oh.
just about eggs? Or
The title means it's just the world of golden eggs. It's just stupid. All the characters is like
Sounds
so
like anime.
stupid.
yeah,
There's been a lot of eggs this episode.
No, they're
yeah.
turkeys, like talking turkeys, and some American football players and coaches.
No. On our episode of the podcast, we've talked about a lot of eggs this
Oh, Egg
episode.
Benedict, right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'll have to look at that
Um,
for sure.
Full circle.
Yeah. Tom, are you a good cook? How do you do?
You better show us that. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see the
What's
model
that?
train.
Yeah. Here we go.
You got to
Put
get
your-
rid of the
you-
virtual
you-
background.
No. You gotta put your face close to the. You
Yeah.
gotta put the face close to it too.
Oh, make it over.
There.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
And I got
That's
know.
pretty cool.
I actually have an engine that's 100 years old.
Holy crap! Let's see it. Does it run?
I have it up on a shelf.
Oh, okay.
Pennsylvania Railroad, I think.
Cool.
Pardon?
Was that Pennsylvania Railroad? The
Yeah, that's
engine?
Pennsylvania. Got New Haven, New York Central, my favorites. I got other ones too.
Cool.
Wow.
When you
Yeah.
say you do model trains, does that mean you like paint the trains or build the trains, or
No,
you
it's,
like?
everything's pre-built. I'm not they call them kit bashers. I'm not. I get my trains, put the track down, and I run them and I play with them. I'm not a collector. I'm an operator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so
Yeah.
cool.
And I've got some things that are worth some money, but that's not the point of what I'm doing.
hmm
Do they
Yeah.
run through towns? That your trains?
I
do you
have basically one town that runs out of the town, runs back into the town.
Cool. Uh-huh.
But you can do whatever you want with it, right? You set up your tracks wherever you want them to go.
Yeah, I mean the tracks. It's a couple of ovals with some switches and some things that they do. And I got
Wow.
accessories that do things. I've even got a couple of trains that talk now.
Wow.
When you come
What do
into
they
the
say?
station, it gives you. It says
On
now we're
aboard.
arriving in the Pittsburgh Express on track 1,
I love that.
and it's got other sounds. When it's leaving, it says now departing on track 2, the Pittsburgh Express, and it lists a bunch of stations it's going to.
Wow. I like
I
it.
love it.
I can still remember the odor of the Lionel trains.
Yeah, a little bit of ozone.
Speaking of hobbies, I got a gift from one of my friends because I'm such a Pokemon fan. Look, it's the badges.
Oh,
Ain't that dope? Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
Where did you get it?
I don't know.
So your friend?
Yeah, they gave
Got
yeah,
it
it was
for
a
you?
gift. It was a gift because I'm always reading Pokemon mangas and playing a
Did
Pokemon
you-
game.
Did you earn all of them or not? You just got every badge straight up.
I feel like I've beaten the game enough and I've beaten enough kids online and I haven't read up to these badges that they're up to. This is like the Johto League, which I'm not there yet in the reading of it, but I'm almost there. So
Yeah.
nice. Really.
That's
Um,
sick.
Do you mind explaining what we're talking about to Tom and Grandpa?
Oh, these are
I
yeah.
think
What?
it's like Dungeons and Dragons type of stuff.
Oh no, it's like dogfighting, but with two animals. That's to sum it up. And you get a badge for each time you win a dogfight. And it's about loving your animal. It's about loving them and taking care of them, but mostly making other ones faint.
Yeah. So you get these virtual animals and then you battle them against each other online. It kind of
Yeah.
is like dogfighting.
It is
yeah.
literally only dog fighting. I just didn't think you were gonna say it like that.
That's funny.
Tom, are you familiar with Strasburg, Pennsylvania?
Yes, been there a couple of times.
Okay.
I
Paradise, Intercourse, all those towns.
I think it was really funny how we were talking about model trains, and then Phines said Pokemon, and the four of us went, "Ooh!" And then
I was like, "What?"
Grandpa and Tom were, yeah, there are generation model trains for sure.
Yeah, you know what? I did get them under my Christmas tree every year. There was some type of Pokemon thing probably for me.
It's gonna be crazy when, because I'm gonna play Pokemon when I'm 80, I hope, and like we'll be talking to kids in their 20s, like, oh yeah,
Pokemon.
I had the Johto League, and they're like, oh, do you like paint that or what?
It's dog fighting, kid.
Yeah. It's a dog fight.
Yeah.
One thing my trains do, there's a lot of emotional attachment to some of them because I got them as a kid. So I've got, there's some significant emotional attachments to some of the stuff I have.
Yeah. Do you still play with your old model trains from when you were a kid?
I've only got a couple. I've got a couple of things left. The one thing I have a set from 1957, which I still play with that.
Wow.
Cool.
Are they HO gauge?
No, it's 027 and O gauge, the 3-rail.
Okay, jargon.
I mean, that's what we're doing with Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I really, I've got that emotional attachment, and your generation, I don't know what you could have an emotional attachment to.
Pokemon can be an emotional attachment,
All
right?
right, let's fight about it, Tom.
No, it's Pokemon is like, let's take Pokemon for example. It's one of those things that's like, for whatever reason, whether it's just capitalism or because it's something actually something just fun, it's like embedded into like our culture at a very young age. Like first there's like just a TV show, it's like a little cartoon that's like the youngest child can like get into it and get what's going on. So like probably like 5 at least, you can watch Pokemon and get involved and kind of know what it's about. And then there's games on like, there's all kinds of different games, like video games. There's trading card games. Now there's if you remember Pokemon Go, when like all these idiots were on their phones like walking into traffic and stuff, because it's like a virtual reality type of game on the phone where you're catching Pokemon. And then like Phines, he's got like, there are people that actually, there's artists that will make art of the fictional universe or franchise or whatever. So it's like, it's like a culture. It's a whole culture of
we grew up with it.
Right. Just like trains.
It was my model under the tree. I got Pokemon Crystal under the tree. And I still have the little cartridge, right? So like I'm very emotionally attached to Suicune. It's like one of the Pokemon, so it's literally the same thing.
I can almost promise you in the future I'll be in a basement and my wife will be like, come to bed. We've been playing Pokemon all night.
It's 1 a.m.
It's 1 a.m. Put your Pokemon away. And I'll be like, oh,
yeah.
I'll never catch them all with you. Always worrying about me. Yeah.
That is so true. Yeah.
And it's something that you can do with other people. Like the game, it's like a multiplayer game or like a card game. You play against other people. Like it's also got that element to it where you're, what is it?
Yeah.
Like interpersonal.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of clubs that have the train layouts. And people from around the area. I mean, there's huge layouts around, and the people join the club and bring their stuff and run their stuff on that layout, and sometimes they're open to the public. So
oh cool, I
there's
love
that type of interaction too.
Oh yeah.
Have you been
conventions, like Pokemon conventions too?
Yeah, there are a lot of train conventions. Yeah.
Have you been to one of those layout things recently, or do you plan to now that you're like all
not
vaccinated?
Recently? No. A couple of things I'm not involved with. I'm kind of a member. Have a membership. A lot of the conventions have been canceled because of the COVID. They're looking to start up later this year. There's one in California that's open, and then 2022.
Nice.
So
That'd be exciting.
I've seen people's layouts and I've seen club layouts that just it blows my mind.
Yeah.
And they sometimes it depends upon what they do. That they'll, especially if it's HO, they'll run it like a regular railroad. There's schedules and everything. So they get it. I guess they get into it just like you guys get into Pokemon.
Yeah.
And it's just that, you're kind of opening my eyes a little bit.
Yeah.
You're opening mine too. I mean, if you had said model trains before we talked about it, I'd be like, oh, okay. But it sounds a lot like Pokemon.
It does without the dog fighting.
Yeah.
Without the, yeah.
Have you ever gotten into building model airplanes or boats, anything like that?
I did model airplanes when I was in the Army. It was stuff that my friend of mine, we used to put the kits together and then go fly them after work. But I tried it even as a kid. Didn't do much. I did more when I was in the service. But then when I left the service, like the planes never came home with me.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but I did do that.
Do you have a? Oh yeah, go Phines. Go.
No, I just said I always had a dream of making my own boat, like a small one, a miniature, like just to see how, like, the science nerd in me, just try to figure out how to make it float and travel, and that sounds fun. I mean, I'm sort of same thing for a train.
I built a boat when I was 15. I bought a Chris Craft kit.
How big was it?
It was 14 foot.
Oh shoot!
And my parents wanted to send me to camp one more year to get rid of me for the summer, and I didn't want to go to camp that summer, so I didn't know it. But they had arranged for the camp to actually buy the boat at the end of the summer, so I spent the whole summer standing outside, driving these brass screws by hand. In those days, you didn't have like a power screwdriver. And at the end of the summer, they sold the boat to the camp. So literally, I built a boat for the camp, and I went back about 15 years later. It was still on the lake.
Wow.
Whoa.
Did you steal it back because you built it?
It's rightfully mine. Thing. Brandon, I'm sorry. Brandon, did we find out what your hobby was that got you through the quarantine?
Well, I said alcohol.
Yeah,
but that's not a very good answer.
It's not your hobby.
It's a quarantine hobby.
If you work hard enough, it can be, I suppose.
Yeah, not with that attitude.
hobby.
Not with that attitude.
You remember we talked about positivity.
What did I do during the pandemic? During the pandemic, I started a podcast with my grandfather.
Yeah. That's a good hobby.
We're a hobby.
Say that. Tell people that.
Yeah.
And I do it without beverages. So yeah, there we go.
He's got an IV next to him. We can't see.
Yeah, right behind my face here on my virtual background is just a fucking
IV of booze.
No,
But
I mean, yeah. What about
I was
Phines
going to
and
ask
Sierra?
Phines. I know you're into art, so you've been working.
You're right. Heroin, yes. No, I'm just kidding. It was art, yeah. Just a lot of art, a lot of reading. I read a lot. I read and drew.
What do you read?
I read all of, speaking of mangas or animes and stuff, I read all of Shaman King. I watched all of Full Metal Alchemist. I almost finished Naruto, but it wasn't good. I read a book on jazz. I read some like French playwright stuff on comedies, which is really funny. Molière.
What French? Okay.
Molière, 1760. It's really funny. He's really like doing stuff before his time. I walked a lot around New York, got to see. It was kind of like the first time, like once I moved here, I didn't get to really be like a visitor. I just started working, so it was kind of cool to actually walk around the city and see stuff.
Hey, what do you do?
I work at a museum. I'm a supervisor at a museum, but right now, I mean, besides that, I illustrate. I want to do comedy.
Gotcha.
Do podcasts. Yeah.
Is it
Where
like
do you live in New York?
The Story of Queens.
Oh, I was born in Queens.
Oh, where at?
I was born in Queens General Hospital, and we lived in an apartment in Woodside.
Oh, I live in Woodside.
Ah.
Don't ask me the address.
No, I'm not gonna ask you. Okay.
Thank you.
You said now you're in Pittsburgh. You're in Pennsylvania somewhere. Where you at?
No, I'm in Bellingham, Mass.
Oh wow. Okay. What brought you over there? How'd you get there?
Long story, but 1978, I was offered a position in Boston, and I took it, and I moved from New York to here.
Oh. Cool. You like Boston?
Yeah,
enough?
I do. I miss the city though. I really do.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna get used to. I mean, I'm from Indiana now in New York, but I don't know if I've been so spoiled by the city and how close everything is and how nice it is that I don't know what I'm gonna do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great place.
Okay, this is my nephew.
Uh-oh.
Put it in front of your face.
Hit it in front of your face.
Oh,
Can you
there
see?
you go.
Oh, that's so cute.
That's a train.
A train, yeah.
How big is that train?
He loves the train. It's kind of big, right? It's like it actually runs on the rail.
That's so
Oh, live
cute.
team.
How old
So
is he?
that's he's like about 3-ish. But he knows all the different trains. Like there's so many different kinds of trains, and then he like reads the book of the trains and then pointed like, this is something. He remembers all the names. Like we don't know, so it's like he got the toy, a lot of different kinds of toy trains from Daddy, and sometimes he like talks to his grandfather, saying like, I want a new one. Like I want a this and that to my grandfather. So he knows all the names and difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love him.
What is it about the trains that are so enticing?
Bro, I freaking love trains. I went on a train for the first time a couple years ago. I was so excited. I talked about it for like a month.
I wonder if they can be run by magnets.
It's more like cars, right? I can't find any, like, not many trains here, right? It's more like car.
What you mean? Like for models to make?
No, the entire America. You see more cars than trains.
Yeah.
But in Japan, you see a lot of different trains, and people love trains. Boys, guys, and men love train.
I can't wait to move somewhere where there's just trains galore.
It's very engineering, right? A lot of like, speaking of living in there, there's Boilermakers, Purdue, and they're all engineers and they love trains, right? That's
I think so, yeah.
Brandon and I took a train that runs at 150, 160 miles an hour in Japan.
Yeah, the bullet train?
Yeah, that was so cool.
Yeah.
We went past, I think, Mount Fuji. I believe so.
Yeah, you can see that. Yeah.
I wonder, like, if you do model trains and you go on a train, like, do you think differently, or you're like, oh my god?
I like riding on a train. I enjoy it. But I mean, it's much. When I was a kid, my dad and I went from New York up to Springfield, and I remember that fairly vividly. There's not a lot of railroads. The railroad system's totally changed, and the highway system and air travel, pretty much put the death to the system.
Yeah.
It's all kind of like commuter rail and like more local than it is. I mean, Amtrak still runs, across the country. It's also expensive to travel. Like to go across the country by rail is expensive.
That's probably by design. More. Well, I mean, like more people buying individual cars that cost thousands of dollars is better for the billionaire than an affordable job maker like railroads across the country. Are they trying to do that now? Isn't Peter? They're trying
to improve the rail systems and do more for rail. I don't know what the total plan is.
Yeah.
Excel is a nice train to ride on because it's so smooth and relatively quiet.
I never done it.
Are you able to like kind of like critique your train ride experience because you like know a lot about trains?
I mean, to me, it's different. I like being able to see things that we've done the train a couple of times to New York from Boston, and it's interesting to watch the sights as you go through towns and cities, and the scenic part of it. Is interesting.
Yeah.
It's not a bad way to travel, for a day trip. I mean, it depends on how you travel. Amtrak's about 4 hours to New York, and Excel is about, I think it's just over 3.
Yeah.
But,
being on the bullet train, I was like, oh my gosh, no wonder there's so many more trains in Japan. Like, They do it so much better. You know?
Yeah. And there was no accident, like no fatal accident since the bullet train started. Like, I don't know how long ago. Yeah.
Wow.
That's very safe.
Must be nice.
Awesome.
Last year we went to Europe when the COVID started. That was fun. We took the train from Paris to London to go from Paris. You know, go underneath the channel.
The tunnel. Yeah.
Channel. That was interesting. It was a great train ride.
How many hours?
I think it was 2.5 hours.
Ooh.
Wow, that is quick. Yeah.
You know.
That Euro rail where it's like all interconnected for very cheap, right? Is that still going on?
That I don't know, because we went over the only train we did was from Paris to London.
Yeah.
So, but that was an interesting. It was a nice smooth ride. It was you know, I mean, you're in a tunnel, you can't see much, but you know.
Yeah. There's something about it where it's like so many romantic movies start on
in
a train.
The train.
Right?
I know. The train in Europe is so, you know, the romantic.
It lends itself to that hopeless romanticism. And then you take the subway in New York and you're like, I'm never going to meet anybody.
Well, sometimes you meet, you know, in subway, the people used to talk to the strangers. Before the COVID.
I met someone, this is back in like 2017 on New Year's Eve on the subway.
Right?
Like, it was like, it was super cool.
Yeah.
But
when we went on the train in Japan, it was interesting to me. I was able to go up into the area where it was a lady driving the train, and every light she gave a hand signal. As
wow.
she gave a hand signal. I mean, you know, you're moving at a really serious speed there. So I guess they want to make sure that they're alert all the time.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they did have you mentioned, I don't know if I wasn't listening the whole time, but they did have a very serious accident recently I think it was in India with a train.
Oh yeah.
India, was it India? Wasn't it Taiwan?
I think it was India.
I think it was India. I'm not sure, but a lot of people were killed.
Oh no.
Yeah. And it was a very high speed train.
Oh.
And we had one here in Philadelphia not that long ago, a couple of years ago, where the train at that time they didn't have an automatic mechanism to slow the train down, and it came through one of the stops and didn't slow down. It was going maybe 75 or 80 miles an hour in a 20-mile-an-hour zone, and crashed, and a lot of people got seriously injured or killed.
Wow.
So on that note, guys, we got to wrap.
Yeah.
From model trains to train wreck.
There we are. We got it.
Yeah. Model trains to train to be on.
Perfect grandpa and chill fashion.
Any last thoughts from anybody? Tom, Azumi?
Last thoughts. Be sure to check the World of Golden Eggs.
Okay.
I will.
Cool.
Golden eggs. Okay.
Tom, last
it was
thoughts?
interesting getting to find out that you can't have an emotional attachment to those things that you grew up with.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It really was.
God.
You know.
Yeah, the generations are more alike than different. We're finding out through this podcast.
Hey.
Phines, Sierra, Grandpa. Thoughts?
Yeah, I got. Oh yeah. Okay. One. This is really off base, but it's for Grandpa. You should invest in Impossible Meat. That's your next. When they open up, they're all private right now. But when all those meatless things, and we stop going, stop using meat so much, and they make it in a lab. You should buy it now.
I eat Impossible Burgers. I think it's a good item.
Let's make money.
I actually worked on an artificial meat years ago, and at that time it wasn't that good. It was.
That's all like vegetarian.
What is making
yes, it's soybean protein and other.
Oh.
But we just joined that climate agreement back, and we need to cut down our carbon. We have to do a bunch of stuff, and I'm willing to bet money that we start eating lab meat a lot in the future.
It'd
Just
be great
invest in
if
it,
it was
Grandpa.
cheaper. Yeah.
Don't sell it.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea because boy, has my stomach gotten big in the last year.
Um, and that's our show. No, yeah, I gotta head out, but so good to see you guys, Azumi, Tom. You
Yeah,
are
good to see you.
super guests. You're welcome back anytime. I
Yes.
hope you enjoyed it, Tom. And
I did. I really did. I was looking forward to this. Really.
Pokemon and trains, it's all the same.
Yeah.
So much love. I'll see you guys soon.
Yeah, we're
Bye.
lucky to have wonderful guests.
Podcasting with Grandpa Bart and Rosie, always on his shoulder. This is Grandpa and Chill.
Grandpa and Chill is brought to you by your hosts, Brandon Fox, Bart Frank, and Phines Jackson. Our producer is Sierra Doss. You can find episodes old and new on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch the show, and follow us on Twitter for behind-the-scenes moments you can't get anywhere else.